So we are taking up a pretty serious matter, a subject matter that is of utmost importance in the life of a devotee. That is the ultimate goal to fulfill Lord Krishna's desire. Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. To take utter shelter unto his lotus feet. Therefore, in the treatise of Bhakti, Hari Bhakti Vilas, Sanatana Goswami gave this formula, the Sharanagati. Sharanagati involves not only desire, but rather readiness. And readiness will be a guided readiness that is so uniform that without this, there is no meaning to thinking that we are surrendered soul to Lord Krishna. Let's see. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote Sharanagati that was published originally in 1893, and he expressed his desires of Sharanagati, the 6 divisions, in the form of beautiful poems or Vaishnava songs. These Bengali songs outlining the 6-fold process of submissive surrender unto the Supreme Lord. This becomes a standard for evaluating the values of the devotional service. Then it will bring us to the maturity, and maturity depends upon surrender. Now, do you have katha? Okay. You can read all this. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Kar Daya Jive Daya Kori Bolo. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Jive Daya Kori Swapashada Shriya Sarva Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu descended from the eternal spiritual world along with his personal associates and divine abode, incarnating in this temporary material world out of compassion for the fallen souls. In order to freely distribute the gift of ecstatic love of God, which is very difficult to obtain, he taught the path of Sharanagati, devotional surrender to the Supreme Lord. This Sharanagati is the very life of the true devotees. The 6 ways of surrender through Sharanagati are Dainya, means humility; Atmanivedan means dedication of oneself; Goptrutva Varana means acceptance of the Lord as one's only maintainer. 4th is consciousness of Avashya Rakshibe Krishna. Krishna will surely protect me, which is Vishwas or faith in Krishna Palan or protection. Bhakti Anukula Matra Karya Svikar. Execution of only those acts favorable to pure devotion. And 6th is Bhakti Pratikula Bhava Varjananandika. Renunciation of the conduct adverse to pure devotion. Sri Nanda Kumar, the youthful son of Nanda Maharaj, hears the prayers of anyone who takes refuge in him by this 6-fold practice of surrender. Bhaktivinoda prostrates himself at the feet of Sri Rupa and Sanatana Goswami, places a straw between his teeth and clasps their lotus feet with his hands. Weeping and weeping, he tells them, I am certainly the lowest of men. Oh, please make me the worthiest by teaching me the ways of Sharanagati. So this is the introductory song. You will notice here the original verse that Sanatana Goswami put up in Hari Bhakti Vilas starts from Anukulasya Sankalpa Pratikulasya Varjanam Rakshati iti Vishwaso Goptrutve Vranam Tatha Atmanikshepa Karpanye Shadvikat Sharanagati. It's completely reverse order. Bhaktivinoda Thakur starts from Dainya, Atmanivedan, Bhaktatva Varnam, Avashya Rakshiti Iti Vishwas, and Anukulam and Pratikulam. The 6 divisions of surrender are acceptance of those things favorable to the devotional service, rejection of the unfavorable things, and conviction that Krishna will give protection, the acceptance of the Lords as one's guardian or master, and full surrender, and the last is humility. If we try to understand then why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu turned around the Mahamantra, which starts from Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare, and told now, chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Here Bhaktivedanta Thakur also tries to do other way around. There is no difference. Because these 6 angas of surrender, they are all in one package. One cannot do one thing and not the other. These are 6 essential steps. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also told that there is no essential difference between a fully surrendered soul and a person in the renounced order of life. Only difference is that a fully surrendered soul is completely dependent on Krishna. There are 6 basic guidelines for the surrender, and they are already called as a symptom of surrender or the requirements of surrender. And these are so essential. You may use them as you like. If you want to guide somebody, use them as guidelines. If you want to follow, you can follow from either end. The result will be the same. Let's take the first one. Anukulasya sankalpa means the acceptance of those things favorable to devotional service. We are teaching according to Hare Bhaktivedanta, these are the requirements. First of all, we are told that eat only Krishna Prasad, right? Because it is very favorable to surrender to Krishna. The first is that one should accept everything that is favorable for the discharge of devotional service, and one should be determined to accept that process. We can't make adjustments. We are prone to make adjustments even in the terms because we are so conditioned. So sometimes something is allowed at the behest of the spiritual master's own risk. Sometimes we think, no, he will improve. But the spiritual master, being the representative of the Supreme Lord's desire, when one is trying to surrender, then he takes every risk. Srila Prabhupada took a lot of risk in training and surrender, making them surrender the early hippies. Could you think that hippies can be ever become obedient? They were disobedient. And Prabhupada made them obedient servants. So what to speak of our youth? Don't think they are disobedient. But we need to mature in such a way that they will become obedient, even if they are not. They are in better position. Here, the background is seen that in the process of Sharanagati means one has to fall from whatever one thinks he has acquired the higher position or this or that, He is like a drop on a leaf which can totter and fall down at any moment. Kamala jaladala jivana talamala. So, we don't have to make things worst by our own separate thinking. We have been given a process. In the morning class, our process has been explained that this is the most perfect process. The path of devotion that Srila Prabhupada showed us is the most perfect. Nobody can match it because it has every kind of backing or the one that sustains the process. The parampara, the guru, and the shastras. So we must be ready to accept the process. And the process will be, if you examine whatever you do in Krishna consciousness because of our instruction, it is all conducive to favor. A favorable activity as a devotional service. The four regulative principles are also favorable. Chanting 16 rounds is also a favorable service. Getting up early in Mangalarti or trying to remain Krishna conscious throughout the day, even you are working outside. Can you take this away? A little bit. It's making me blind. But unless and until you won't be able to see me. So, our position is on the marginal basis that we can fall off at any time. We need to take shelter somewhere. But we must know, when a perfect process is applied, there will be perfect personality of Godhead who is to be taken shelter of. Let's see. Shuddha Bhakata Charana Renu Bhajana Anukula. Bhakata Seva Parama Siddhi Prinalati Karamula. Parama Ananda Hoya. Prasada Seva Korite Hoya Sakala Prapancha Jaya. Yedina grihe bhajana dekhi grihe pe goloka maya. Yedina grihe bhajana dekhi grihe pe goloka maya. Charana sindhu dekhiya bhanga sukhana sima apaya. Tulasi dekhi junayo pran Bhagavato shani jani. Tulasi dekhi junayo pran Bhagavato shani jani. Gaura priya sakha sevane jivana sakha kamani. Bhakti Vinoda Krishna Bhajane Anukula Paya Jhava. Bhakti Vinoda Krishna Bhajane Anukula Paya Jhava. Prati Divase Parama Sukhe Svikar Karo Yatha. Prati Divase Shuddha Bhakta Charana Renu Bhajana Anukula. Shuddha Bhakta Charana Renu Bhajana Anukula. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The dust from the lotus feet of pure devotees is conducive to devotional service, while service to the Vaishnavas is itself the supreme perfection as well as the root of the tender creeper of divine love. If we have not learned how to love Vaishnavas, means each other, how is it that we will be able to love Lord Krishna? Where is the question of love of heart? Ultimately, it will boil to how do we interact with each other. If we disregard other living entities who are chanting Hare Krishna even once, according to Haridas Thakur, we must be afraid of ever offending them. Because you love, you can't offend. So we have to come out from a long way. I observe with great care the holy days commemorating the pastimes of Lord Madhava, for they are the mother of devotion. Srila Prabhupada puts up so many festivals. At any instant or a pretense of a particular day which is connected to Lord Krishna's pastime, we want to celebrate. So celebrating festival should be done with so much enthusiasm, because that is the mother of our devotion. As my dwelling place, I choose with the greatest of reverence and love the transcendental abode of Sri Krishna, because it's a complete, secure place. So, all those places where my Lord Gaurasundar traveled for the pastimes, I will visit in the company of loving devotees. We don't go to Vrindavan Dham or Mayapur Dham as tourists, do we? No. We go in association with the devotees because it will be very conducive to promote our Krishna consciousness. It is very, very favorable. My mind ever longs for the opportunity to hear the music of Mridanga. Upon hearing the kind of kirtan ordained by Lord Gaurachandra, my heart dances in ecstasy. Now here comes the question of kirtan standard in ISKCON. Mridanga. I don't think harmonium has been mentioned. No, it's okay. But we should understand, Prabhupada played harmonium, so we should. But that is a leisurely singing the glories in bhajan. Bhajan is not congregational chanting. Congregational chanting is sankirtan. Sankirtan is for propagation of the holy name, but bhajan is for self. It doesn't mean we are supposed to be bhajananandis. No. Because we preach and spread the holy name, we are Prastyanandis. Prabhupada said we are not bhajananandis. So do not make bhajan as your profession. Chant anything for the pleasure of the Lord. Otherwise we will turn into professional bhajaniyas. We don't have to be professional kirtaniyas either. Because after all, this service is very favorable to take surrender. It is specifically said, kind of the kirtan ordained by Gaurachandra. And Prabhupada also ordained similar. If we listen to the instructions of Srila Prabhupada, that he has given to certain devotees even at the time of need to stop the carrying on the mental level as an entertainment situation in the kirtan. Prabhupada would not tolerate. He would stop. Beholding the deity's form of divine couple Shri Radha Krishna, I feel greatest joy. By honoring the Lord's prasad, I conquer over all worldly illusions. How do we take prasad? Honoring prasad, we will be able to conquer the whole worldly illusions. Are we increasing the worldly illusions by taking Krishna prasad? We hope that it will remove the worldly illusion. Similarly, it is said that how to see the deity. Beholding the deity forms. We are beholden. They say beauty is in the eyes of beholder. Who is the seer? Beholder means one who holds that image. Beholding. One who is understanding. The eyes of themselves, they cannot understand. They can't interpret the reverse image that it is getting. But the beholder is sitting behind. And even he has been given facility to see the reverse image right way. But again, that right image should not be material, otherwise it is as good as reverse. So therefore, Krishna tells again that in 15th chapter that the whole material world is an upside down reflection of the spiritual world. Urdhva Mula Madashaka. The whole material world is upside down, and we are supposed to behold in a correct way. If we take shelter of Lord Krishna, we have to learn the art how to behold. How Krishna sees this at this material world, the same way we have to see, because we are part and parcel of Krishna, the spirit soul, which is inseparable otherwise. We are inseparable, that's why Krishna is making us confined within his own realm. He doesn't let us go out. We want to run away from him, but ultimately we are within him. Yadgyatva na punarmoham evam yasyasi pandava itanya bhutashni ashashani drakshas atmanyato. Drakshas means we have to learn the art of seeing the thing as it is. That everything is within me, they are mine. They cannot go out of my existence. However, we may try to learn. So, beholding the beauty of the Lord should dissipate all our illusory visions. We have to cultivate that art of seeing. Golok Vrindavan appears in my home whenever I see worship, service of Lord Hare taking place there. When I see Ganga, that river of nectar emanating from the lotus feet of the Lord, my happiness knows no bounds. Krishna has manifested even his Achit potencies, in which he is residing in a very qualitative way. The prowess is found. We were talking of that prowess, and Krishna is present in that manifested material world. Adityanam Maham Vishnu, Rudranam Sankarashchasmi, Sthavranam Himalaya. So many things. And we have to realize that it is Krishna who has incarnated as me. But I am not Krishna. Because I am part and parcel of Krishna, how could I be separate from Lord Krishna? It doesn't make me Krishna. I am still a part and parcel. Just like he is expanding himself into many. But he still remains in his original constitutional position as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And if Krishna has this constitutional position, his part and parcel also has constitutional position. Jive Rasuru Bhava Krishna Nitya Das, Krishna Tatashta Shakti Veda Veda Prakash. This is the constitutional position of the Jiva. And the constitutional position of Krishna is Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam Eko Bahunam Yovidadhati. So, nobody can challenge our constitutional position and nobody can challenge Krishna's constitutional position. But yet we dare to challenge out of enviousness. So our vision has been always in a delusion of duality. We have to correct it. We have to correct it. So that process is given through realization. Our predecessors, Acharya, are accountable for their realization to guide us. That's why we are following them. If we don't follow them, then who are we following? Our wicked mind? It's like the sight of the holy Tulsi tree soothes my soul, for I know she gives pleasure to Lord Madhava. By tasting the green leafy preparation named Shak, the great favorite of Lord Gauranga, I consider life worthwhile. Saying Tulsi, Tulsi dekhi judayo pran. Where will your consciousness will direct by seeing Tulsi? Her eternal position is at the lotus feet of the Lord. That made an avid impersonalist devotees. Chatush Kumar became devotees by Tulsi. Whatever Lord Gauranga enjoyed, we should also be contented to enjoy them. Shak is prepared in every home, but in Bengal they call Shak something else. It's only leafy vegetable, not Bengal Burkha or Chana Bhatura. That is not Shak. Only Punjabis eat that. But what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ate. So, because somehow Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in Bengal, Srila Prabhupada appeared in Bengal. So we are stuck with Bengali, whether we like or not. Even though we may not be able to pronounce properly, but we are stuck with it. Amar Mangala. Nobody can challenge Bengalis. Even they were converted Muslims in East Bengal, they fought against the Pakistanis on the language basis. And forget Amar Bangla. So they were victorious. Of course, India helped, whatever it is, it's culture. Culture is deeper than operation and results of operation to accept. That is not a Vedic system. So whatever Bhaktivedanta obtains that is favorable for the service of Krishna, he accepts every day with the greatest joy. We have to accept the greatest joy because we never thought that we have to learn Bengali. You may be Maharashtrian, I'm a Gujarati. But what do we have to do with the Bengalis? But Prabhu, we are stuck with it. So, on one side a person should cultivate Krishna consciousness, and on the other he should try to give up all his bad habits. Both the sides must be there if he wants to advance. One is positive and one is negative. To shut off the negativity, that is his only occupation. To increase the positivity, negativity has to be taken into account and leave aside. You cannot continue to keep the negativity as a hurtling blow, thinking that it is your friend. No. For example, when a person is diseased, the doctor prescribes some medicine, and at the same time he instructs the patient what to eat and what not to eat. Medicine is positive, but following the regimen is also very important. Queen Kunti is praying. Tvai me ananya vishaya matir madhupate sakrit ratim padvahat adha gange vaudham udanmati. O Lord of Madhu, as the Ganges forever flows to the sea without hindrance, let my attraction be constantly drawn unto you without being diverted to anyone else. She is becoming a typical example that our attention is at so many places. But she is requesting that please make my attention on you only. Because she will explain all other things that are detrimental to her devotional self. How is she becoming an example for the surrender to Lord Krishna? You know, the perfection of pure devotional service is attained when all attention is diverted towards the transcendental loving service of Krishna. And anything that obstructs, we must be ready to shun down. To cut off the ties of all other affection does not mean complete negation of the final elements like affection for someone else. That is not possible. But we should stop the attention of too much affection that will divert us from Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, Queen Kunti was so much absorbed in nitty-gritty relationships, both in Pandu dynasty and Vrishni dynasty, because she belonged to both. One by birth and another by marriage. But Prabhupada here gives us instruction to cut off the tie of all other affection does not mean complete negation of the final elements. So never think, oh, I want to give up and I want to become a sadhu artificially. Garvar chhod ke bhagat bano. No, it doesn't say that. When we are too much entangled, then these thoughts are coming and we try to apply ourselves. But are they positive thoughts or negative thoughts? Don't take it as a positive thought. Because essentiality in your service, in your status quo, cannot be neglected. You can't take an excuse. Don't imitate Vishwamitra Muni. First of all, he was irresponsible. He was becoming detached and was meditating, but Menka came and disturbed him, and Shakuntala was produced, and then says, okay, I'm going to become sadhu. Irresponsible. But nonetheless, these examples are not to be followed, but to be used as education, that we can't blindly imitate. These are divine personalities they have done in order to transgress virtually. Kunti transgressed out of innocence. She became pregnant and Karna was born and she wanted to, okay, bye. You can't do that. The divinity, divine personality, they act on divine platform because they are cooperating the Supreme Personality of Godhead to enact his pastimes. That is anukul. But for the fallen jivas, ordinary, foolish jivas, they cannot imitate. So, therefore, a careful guidance is required, and it should come through the spiritual master, being representative of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay, you get out, forget it. The great souls have done, you also become great by imitating them. By imitation, you do not. There are all other vices. They are harbored. What about them? What about them? Shakuntala was produced, he left, Vishwamitra left her, a baby child, in Karma Muni's ashram, and he raised. Because they were participating in the Leela. Dushyant would come and get married. And Bharat would be produced. And that was not Jad Bharat, but it was the King Bharat upon which wrote, our nation is called Bharatavarsha. Of course, you also are Bharat. So we have to understand, the divinity has to be taught. It is not for imitation. But if we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, the divine quality will come. By worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that's Anukul Bhajan. Yugala Murti, Dekhiya Mur, Parame Hridaya Ananda Ho. That Anand is Ahana. But don't take it for granted. When you come for darshan, keep your Anand within. Don't try to express. Otherwise you will be called a madman. We are not supposed to imitate that. Kunti would have chosen such a path because she is seeing Lord Krishna face to face. Instead of glorifying him on his majestic aspect and asking him to cut off her ties with both Pandu and Vrishni dynasties, she would have asked, "Oh, Krishna, you are so beautiful." No, she doesn't say. She understands the majesty. So, one should hold his emotions by seeing the deity. Without understanding or seeing the Paramatma feature in the deity, one cannot progress. So Paramatma realization is coming through deity worship. That is Kapil Dev teaches to Mother Devahuti also. It is very important. Why should Prabhupada put the deities in the temple? The Yoga Dharma is chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, not the deity worship. Deity worship was meant in Dwapar Yuga. But Prabhupada wrote the process of deity worship, and he was very, very careful. Prabhupada said in USA, it is on record, if they would know what I am doing, they would have killed me. To introduce deity worship in non-believer nation, we face so many obstacles when Jagannatha Theatra comes. The Christian will hold placards. You can go to Godhead only through Jesus and nobody else because he said so. But it's only for the believers of Jesus said so. We are believing in his Father. Where did he say anything? If he said that you can come only through Jesus, if the Father has said, then we would have thought twice. But Father never says. Father says, you come to me and here is Krishna. He's telling. Don't go to anybody else. Just surrender to me. So, anyway, we have to be sensitive but not illusion. Illusion will hinder our progress in taking surrender. Never to imitate blindly. To cut off the ties. We read that. So when this desire is changed for the satisfaction of the Lord, that is called devotional service. The desire has to change when time matures. When actually nobody wants you around, then you can go happily. If you feel you are not wanted, then who is going to, keep you holding? Clarify. Prabhupada did so, isn't it? Do you want me or tea? Another one, he said, tea. Prabhupada said, okay, bye. But Prabhupada never despised her. He took the advantage. But they knew. So all Prabhupada is also difficult for them. And we don't hear that they ever interfered or they went to court or did anything. No. What one should actually want is explained by Kunti Devi. She says, let my family relationships cease, but let my relation with you be confirmed. In other words, she does not want to be attracted to anything but Krishna. And you have to do a thankless task while remaining at home. You can, remain attracted to Krishna at the topmost level. Try your level best in ideal grahastha ashram. Then time will come to say Hari Bol, not bye-bye. This is perfection and this is actually wanted. One should be free from all the entanglements. If Krishna, do you think Krishna did not grant that boon to her? That yes, you can become free. But did she ever get out of the family life? Then? But still, the desire should be cultivated, not action should be cultivated. Inaction should be cultivated. That is called detachment, should be cultivated. The word Ananya Vishaya means Ananya Bhakti. Undeviating devotional service. We must simply be attached to Krishna 24 hours a day without deviation. You are all aspiring for surrendering to Krishna sooner or later. So, anything reverse happen in your life, do not get disappointed. Opportunity is there. You may choose or bypass the opportunity. That is your, luck or bad luck, whatever it is. But the idea is that Krishna gives everybody this opportunity, not only to the devotees, even for the non-devotees. In this way, our renunciation can be perfect. If we think we can be attached to Krishna and material things at the same time, we are mistaken. We cannot ignite a fire and at the same time pour water on it. If we do, the fire will not act. Simple. So we must cultivate Krishna consciousness favorably. Anukulyena Krishna Anushilanam Bhakti Uttama. This means thinking of how Krishna will be satisfied. We must always think of Krishna just like gopis. Did gopis ever become an obstacle? Or they became very favorable? Gopis were obstacle in their family, but not on the path of Krishna consciousness. When we become obstacle in path of Krishna consciousness by our anarthas and attachment, the Krishna consciousness of the gopis was perfect because they had no desire other than to try to please Krishna. That is perfection. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not give us any other alternative thing to be perfected other than following the footsteps of the gopis. That is the only resolute determination we have to. Why do we have to go even on sub-religious principles? For our upliftment, we are responsible ourselves. And if we are treading the path of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Srila Prabhupada kindly brought us on that path. If we stick on that with that methodology, rather than introducing some other methodologies and deviating principles, then we are in trouble. It is not the path accepted by previous acharyas, which we are deviating. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recommends Ramya Kachit Upasana Vrajavado Vargina Jata Vitaha. There is no better process by which to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead than the method adopted by the gopis. Even worship of Laddu Gopal deviates and puts us on the only pushti aspect. Gopis were not worshipping Laddu Gopal. But at the same time, we see Sarvatmanaya Sharanam Sharanyam. Otherwise, they were chastised by their family members. They had husbands, they had children, they had the in-laws staying, and some have sister-in-laws staying there. And they create hell. This is to be compared with what Narad Bhakti Sutras also emphasize. In Sutra number 12, it is declared that Bhavatu Nishchaya Dharya Urtvam Shastra Rakshanam. One must continue to follow scriptural injunctions even after one is fixed up in determination. Certainly, the devotional service is the only means for reaching to the perfection of life. So, we have been given the guidelines of the Shastra Rakshan. Shastra's injunctions are there because they are promoting our surrender, and that's why they recommend us not to do this. Follow this way. Ye shastram iti musrujya vartate kamakarata na sasiddhim avapnoti na sukham na parangati. Because you love Krishna, you do not have to follow Shastra. That is an obnoxious idea. To be elevated to such a point of devotional life, one has to execute the directions of scriptures. That is the recommendation. But even after becoming elevated in devotional life, one should not think, oh, I have already elevated to the highest stage, therefore I may violate the scriptural regulations for executing devotional service. That is foolish. Prabhupada was 100% engaged in Krishna consciousness by full surrender. Yet he was showing us the process of sadhana bhakti. He was already sadhana siddha. He was already kripa siddha. The perfection is there. But yet he came down on a lower madhyamadhikari platform in order to show us the process. And he never gave up showing till he left his body. He was constantly instructing. That is the nature of the Guru. One may think, oh, it is all for neophytes. The locha neophytes. To remain full in front of so-called puffed up people, that is the best approach. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed by example that in front of Prakashananda Saraswati and others, he took up a very humble position. But the instruction came from his mouth, which was startling them. If we do not follow, then we may become victim of ourselves. Therefore, Sutra number 13 says, Anyatha patiya sankhaya. Otherwise, there is every possibility of falling down. Sutra number 14 says, Loke api tavat eva bhojanadi vyaparasto eva sharira dharana vidhi. For as long as the body lasts, one should engage minimally in social and political activities in such matters as eating. This is for ideal grahasthas. You are not denied to mingle politically or socially, but in order to carry out Krishna consciousness. You have to engage your body, mind and intelligence in service of Krishna at any level. Krishna declares what he wants from Arjuna. So in 18th chapter, 65th verse, it says, Manvana bhavamat bhaktamadhyaji man namaskuru mame veshyasi satyam de pratijani priyosi. Always think of me. Become my devotee. Worship me and offer your homage unto me. Thus you will come to me without fail. I promise you this because you are my very dear friend. Now who can beat this promise? No devatas are giving such promises. He says, give me my share and take this away. It's a vanik buddhi. But with Krishna there is no vanik buddhi, no mercantile mentality. One should therefore engage his mind in the eternal form, the primal form of Lord Krishna, with conviction in his heart that Krishna is the Supreme. He should engage himself in worship. When such practice is made, one has to offer obeisance to Krishna. One should lower his head before the deity and engage his mind and body, his activities. Means everything should be falling like a rod. Dandavat pranam. Not panchanga pranam. Unless you are invalid. That will make one fully absorbed in Krishna without deviation. Just in the morning we say, Maya, they will never bow down their head. They will stand up and at the maximum. So anybody has any question about Anukulasya, Krishnanushīlanam? We have to go 6. Almost time. I'm on the target. So, I have 5 minutes more before I say thank you and Hare. Anybody has any question? Yes?
Maharaj said that all our attraction should be towards Krishna. All our attraction should be towards Krishna, but we have our attachment towards our parents, towards our family. So, how do you think that one should change that the whole attraction should go towards Krishna? Because we'll constantly be thinking about the family that you have to provide for them and take care of them.
But that is understood as Krishna's given duty. You are doing this on behalf of him. Otherwise, he is also maintaining without you. But you are taking responsibility voluntarily in Krishna consciousness. So, you have right to put your attention and at some extent some duty-bound situation by a provider or facilitator. Krishna is providing, alright? Paramatma is facilitating. So you aid Paramatma, I also want to facilitate this service. That is called marriage.
But under the hood, we are also developing an attachment, more and more attachment as the day.
More and more, that is not said. Nobody should have those kind of more and more attachment. Where it is said, he tells to Arjuna, the karma and the reactions. The reactions, if you take, you will be attached. Otherwise not. Karma niyamādhikāraste mā phaleshu kadācana. So it is applying not only to you, but all others. So mā karma phala hetur. We are not the cause of the karma phala. Mā karma phala hetur. Tvayasti sanga karmani akarmani. You are supposed to act in the spirit of akarma. Therefore, you associate or your activity should be attached to akarma, not karma. Because you are not the result oriented. They may say, oh, you are our bread provider. You should tell, I am not the provider, but I am facilitator. I purchase the bread from the shop and facilitate. That's all. What?
Maharaj, you said that we should not imitate like the great person.
Are you questioning me?
But the Shastra says that Mahajana Yena Gata Satam.
That is blind imitation. Pantha is there, but if you do not know how to walk, how are you going to go on that road? Therefore, instructions are far better than blind imitation. Take it for granted. This is you're not. K-A, not T. It's okay. All right, thank you very much. You gave me break. I will deal with him privately.